Yeah, so now we're finally at the end. Well, not actually. We still have another 38 minutes to go. But this is the sixth movement, and it is a blues for Trinise, and it is dedicated to Paul Robeson, and it is a Stormy Monday blues. I stole it right from the classics, and you get that. Yeah, man. I break up the strings into string quartets so that we get a real raw sound when the strings come in. It also starts with a baritone sax solo. Again, featuring one artist. Yeah, here we are. Here we are at the edge of the sea. Now I gotta drop an octave. Yeah, hearing a warning through the endless blue doors. When we can't help but say, there's no other place for me. In this time of bittersweet and all your evermores. Here's that rhythm again. Somebody asked, what does Stormy Monday vibe feel? That's what I wrote. I wrote as the tempo, Stormy Monday vibe. And I thought, well, oh boy, I better explain that to somebody. Go listen to Stormy Monday. Because we hear all of those themes from that third movement, we hear it here, the cello. Right? We hear it in the bass. It's basically the same movement as the one that happens in the beginning. But when everybody comes in, it's like... intense solo, and then I surprise. Stop! When we can't help but say, there's no other place for me. And here's the bass again. That theme. In this time of bittersweet and all your evermore. And there's a bridge. Of course there's a bridge. You would have a bridge in a jazz blues tune. And we hear all at once what the earth has to say. In the middle of those plain old happy days. Oh, happy days. I like to have that kind of descending resolution. Now there's this really tricky brass solo. I decided that the orchestra brass should sound like a big band, like Count Basie's brass section, And I wrote this insane rhythmic solo. Talk about that, but God bless them. I know they're going to have to practice it. But it really features them, and I'm really happy to feature them. And I think it's going to be extremely powerful to have that kind of thing. This movement is very, very, very straight, man. It's just a blues with some complications in terms of the rhythm. Like, for example, at one point, the strings do this. I like that rhythm, that kind of really hip rhythm. Yeah, I do need to talk about this. This is letter G, actually. This is where you have a difficulty understanding the difference between what is written and the idea of swing. So, that is actually written. But if you're swinging it, it's. But if you're playing it the way it's written, it's. But it's got a swing. So you always have to sense, okay guys, it swings. And we just got to pray that strings can swing. Yeah, this movement is fun, and it gets really intense in the reeds and in the strings and so forth. And then of course it has a big stop, as I do, silence, and we go back to the head. It ends quietly, like a blues should. Thank you.